We are going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everybody here. My name is Steve Callahan. I'm the Nicholas County Circuit Judge. To our Family Treatment Court graduation. We're here to do a lot of things today. Most of all is to celebrate our graduating individuals over here. We're going to have some guest speakers today, which I will introduce. And like I said, we're here to celebrate these graduates, celebrate families reunited, and I'll have some guest speakers, and I'll tell a joke or two along the way to keep things moving. I used to know a lot of jokes about unemployed people, but none of them worked. So, I'd like to recognize some people here today. I see Gary Withy from the city of Summersville. Thank you for being here. Also want to recognize Scott Ellison. It takes a community to make this work, and Scott's part of that community. He is a realtor, landlord, a businessman, and when our participants need housing, we can always call on Scott, and he's always there to help. And I think it's a mutually beneficial relationship. But like I say, it takes a community to make this work. It takes a big team to make it work. Scott's a part of that team by being a part of the community and helping us out. So Scott, thank you very much. Would you like to say anything?
Thank you. You know, I'm very proud to be a part of this community. I come from Tioga, so I've been in bad places. We've all made mistakes. Not all of us have gotten caught, so that's the difference. But when Judge, you reached out to me and Stephanie asking about rentals, I've always had a no pets, no drugs, no riffraff statute approach, and I know that your program works, and that's the only reason that I make the exception for your people, because I know it's a good program. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. Okay, I want to throw out some numbers that I'm very proud of. Today marks 44 adult graduates from Family Treatment Court. So we've had 3 years in. We graduated 44 adults. And today will mark 68 children placed back in drug-free homes. That's a huge number for this county. I'm very proud of that. The other number I'm proud of is out of 68 people, we have less than a 1% recidivism rate. That's also pretty good. The last thing that I'll point out before I bring up the guest speaker is that there are 13 family treatment courts across the state. By number of participants, we have the largest, and for the participants, family treatment court is completely voluntary. And for judges, it's also completely voluntary. I don't have to do this, but the reason I do it is in these portraits right up there. Smiling kids' faces back in drug-free homes. Here's one of the good things. Kim Sterling, I don't know if she's here. She's a photographer, and she donates her time to make these portraits. And after these families graduate and go home today, they'll take these portraits with them. That makes it all worth it. So our first guest speaker is from Congresswoman Carol Miller's office. His name is Kyle Saunders, so I'll ask him up at this time. Come on up.
Thank you, Judge, and good morning, everyone. My name is Kyle Saunders from the Office of United States Congresswoman Carol Miller. And unfortunately, the Congresswoman's in D.C. today, so you've got me for the ceremony, but I'm very pleased to be here. I think this is now my third graduating ceremony for Family Treatment Court or Adult Drug Court here in Nicholas County. I've also had the pleasure to attend some of the other 13 counties events over the past several months. And the Congresswoman's very, very excited, very supportive of those programs because they do change lives and they save families, and they're so important to our communities and to the state of West Virginia. A lot of politicians and elected officials coined the phrase that we want to make West Virginia the best place to live, work, and raise a family. And that's certainly a lofty goal. It's one that we can all get behind. And so much so that it's one that the Congresswoman supports, Senator Capito supports, even Senator Manchin have all coined this phrase and wanted to work toward it. But it always begs the question, how do we achieve that? And there are a variety of ways to do that, and I won't get into all of them right now. But Family Treatment Court is certainly one of those ways, because it does help people who are experiencing hardships and difficulties. And it doesn't, there's not always the best public policy to hinder someone's ability to move forward, but to sometimes reach out and help them. And we certainly want to commend the judge and Stephanie and their entire team for putting this program on, because as he said, it's not based in statute that it's mandatory for them to hold this program and orchestrate family treatment course. So Judge, I want to thank you and your team for doing this. And last but most, the graduates. Congratulations on completing this program, with all your sacrifice and hard work and dedication to bettering your lives and the lives of your families. The Congresswoman certainly sends her regards. And I do have certificates for each of you that you'll receive here in just a few minutes. These certificates read, Certificate of Congressional Recognition. This certificate is hereby presented to these graduates in recognition of strenuous hard work and dedication in pursuit of rehabilitation and the culmination of the Nicholas County Family Treatment Court on this 20th day of April, 2024. Congratulations. Thank you, Judge. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you for being here, Kyle, and thank you to Congresswoman Carol Miller. You know, there's a thin line between hyphenated words. Speaking of hyphenated words, have you ever noticed that the word non-hyphenated is actually hyphenated? Our next speaker is from Senator Joe Manchin's office. His name is Ben Spurlock, so come on up.
Thank you, Judge. It's always really tough to follow 2 or 3 dad jokes every time I come here, so I appreciate that. My name is Ben Spurlock. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of United States Senator Joe Manchin for another Family Treatment Court graduation. These are always very, very special to be a part of and to get to witness because there's so much that goes into it. And thank you to Judge Callahan and Stephanie and their team because without them, like Kyle said, this wouldn't be possible. So on behalf of the Senator, we have some greetings that are signed and customized to each of our graduates in their packets. And I would like to share some remarks on his behalf as well. It is my distinct privilege to congratulate you as a graduate of the Nicholas County Family Treatment Court. This is such an outstanding milestone for this program as well as for you and your family. I applaud the outstanding dedication it took to make today possible and hope that you have found a strong support system in those around you. You are here today because of your unfailingly positive attitude and the people around you who know what you are capable of. Here in West Virginia, our most precious and valuable resource is our people, and you are no exception. Programs such as this serve as an important opportunity for you to make major changes in both your quality of life and your families. The effects of addiction extend to the heart of the community, and it is my hope that these programs continue to expand and in turn change many lives for years to come. Together, we are making an impact on the substance abuse epidemic, and every Family Treatment Court graduation in our beautiful state is a victory. This is an exciting milestone for you, and I wish you the best of luck for the future. With warmest regards, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Ben. We have the support Congresswoman Carol Miller's office. We have support Senator Joe Manchin's office. We have the support of the city. Our county commission supports us. Also received a letter from Chief Justice Beth Walker from the Supreme Court. We are fortunate to have the full support of the Supreme Court behind us. Without them, we could not do this. And speaking of the Supreme Court, we have a representative from the administrative office. Her name is Kelly Dickinson, and I will ask her up at this time to say a few words. Come on up.
So he did mispronounce my name. My name is actually Kaylee Dickinson, but I'm the treatment court evaluator for the Division of Probation Services. And, you know, I love going to these graduations because it really does remind you the importance of these treatment courts. You know, today we get to see these lovely families reunified with these adorable babies, and we know that family treatment courts are extremely hard. You know, you guys should be very proud of the work that you have put in. I know the day report, the treatment team, you know, they're probably hard on you guys when you need them to, but the thing to remember is that they're also your best support. Just because you're graduating today does not mean that that stops. Do not forget your aftercare, your recovery plan, all of those things in order to be successful. And the tools that they've provided to you guys, the biggest thing is to remember you can always go back to them. Sincere congratulations from the Division of Probation Services. Unfortunately, nobody else was able to attend today, but I'm very excited to eat the delicious food with you guys and get to see the rest of this graduation. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
Okay, in fairness to me, I mispronounced your name because I couldn't read Stephanie's writing. Okay. Does anybody know why the cowboy adopted a wiener dog? Because he wanted to get along with a little doggy. Okay, are we ready for Renee? Are we ready for Renee? Okay, so one of our main speakers today is one of our graduates. Her name is Renee Garden, and she has done remarkably well through this program. She's very well spoken, and that's why we asked her to say a few words on behalf of herself, the graduates, and our treatment employees. So, Renee?
This is just a visual of my speech because I'm not the best at speaking with visuals. The visuals help me. So I just wanted to show that, but I'm just going to stand it here. I want to start by taking a minute and letting this moment sink in. My personal recovery is what I work at daily. I surround myself with the things that spark my recovery, like a spark in a fire. It produces light. From today, I will believe in myself, my thoughts on how colorful the flames in a fire is. From the glowing embers to the ashes in the air, my recovery is fire. Facts. Fire starts on common ground. That common ground for me is 11 acres on Silo Road, right behind my grandparents' home. Fact. 4 things must be present at the same time in order to produce a fire. 1, enough oxygen to sustain that fire. 2, enough heat to raise the materials to its ignition temperature. 3, some sort of fuel or combustion material. 4, and the chemical reaction that is fire. I build my fire daily on 11 acres, starting on common ground, then maintaining a fire ring, which today is recognized as boundaries. Boundaries help my daily growth. Being present and controlling my emotions help tend to my recovery, because recovery isn't overnight. It takes time to build. As a graduate of the program, I absorbed every resource I could during this last year. Before this program, I would keep throwing gas on a fire until nothing was left to burn. Now learning and teaching basic skills while maintaining oxygen, air, heat, and wood is rewarding. Personally, my journey to cut trees down or dig coal out of the ground doesn't come naturally. Surprising, I know. I tend to my fire by throwing logs on it when necessary, whether that be yearly, monthly, daily, hourly, minute to minute, or second to second. As I have learned, limitations is always set by the mind. Limitations while maintaining a fire is the thoughts of running low on logs, failure to control, and believing only gas can source a fire. The fear of the aftermath, fire extinguishers, water being thrown, or looking in the rearview mirror and seeing the ashes. It is scary, but reminding myself and others of the facts, plus the safety at its most basic, is based upon the principle of keeping fuel sources and non-ignition sources separate. The important thing to remember is to take any of these things away and you will not have a fire, or the fire will be extinguished. To me, the presence of a higher power comes through fire. It's up to us to tend that fire. Speaking today in front of you guys, or in front of you all, helps tend to my fire. Thank you all for being a part of my recovery.
Thank you, Renee, for that. And I think we're now up to the point of introduction of the family treatment court team members. There's Stephanie, and she will do that.
I feel like there's no way that I can follow Renee. That was beautiful. Thank you. So one of the things that I had was kind of to give some special recognitions. Judge Callahan covered a lot of those already, just with the support that we get from our leaders here in FAR and our community, employers, landlords. Everyone has really opened up to our treatment court programs in this county to help give people a second chance, and it's done really wonderful things for them. A couple other things, I just want to thank Gary and the Daily Court Center for everything that you guys do day in and day out. This would not be what it is without you guys. Of course, Kim, certainly for our family portraits. Andrea Cook and Sozo and all of the people who are making recovery meetings available and recovery efforts in the community. That's playing a huge role in the success with people in our community. The DHHR, Rodney and Tim and Crystal and all of the people with the DHHR who work with us to make that possible. Our ASO providers, today we've got Loretta and Lola and Nicole here who've spent an overwhelming amount of time with our families. Allie Brooks is another one, and she's at a cheerleading competition today, so she couldn't be with us. The attorneys who work with us, if they didn't trust us with their clients, we wouldn't have any clients, so we do appreciate that. And also, just to Judge Callahan, because like he said, this is voluntary. The court doesn't have to do this, and he will tell you without hesitation that I take up a lot of his time on a daily basis. So we do appreciate that. So Nicholas County Family Treatment Court, we kicked off February 21st in 2020. And if everybody recalls that year, a few weeks later, our whole world shut down. So we got a little bit of a late start. The courts opened back up in May, and we actually grew fairly quickly as a program at that time. And as Judge Callahan said, not counting our graduates today, so far we have graduated 39 parents, reunifying 63 children, and I know we have at least one former graduate, 2 former graduates. So anybody that's already graduated the program, do me a favor and stand up, please. Thank you. We did have an unfortunate thing happen this year when one of our very first graduation was on May 6, 2021, and Angela Johnson was a graduate at that graduation, and shortly after graduation she was diagnosed with cancer, and she fought very, very, very hard for as long as she could, and unfortunately on January 12th of this year she passed away from that. But she fought really hard, and we were very glad that she was able to have the time that she did have with her 2-year-old and 19-year-old daughters. So we just want to always keep her in our minds and remember her and the girls. So today we are graduating 5 parents. That's going to be reunifying 6 children, 3 of which were actually reunified with other parents at previous graduations. And I just think it's really an amazing thing that we're seeing, and the difference with this program versus the more limited resources that we had before this program existed. So with that, I'll introduce our treatment team, and then we will introduce our graduates. So our treatment team consists of Judge Callahan, myself, and Janet Burge are the coordinators for the program. We have Jasmine Morgan now with the prosecutor's office doing these cases, but we also have Michael Cox and prosecutor Paul Williams with them. We have a little bit of change since the last time I made my team members list. So with this group, we've had Joe Mosco, the assistant public defender, handling these cases and sitting on the team. And starting today, we actually now have Bill McCourt, who will be handling these cases and with us. And of course, it's all made possible by our Chief Public Defender, Kathleen Murphy. We have two guardian ad litems who represent the best interests of the children. That's Denise Pettyjohn and Karen Kramer. They are not able to be here today. Emily Woods is our family treatment court treatment provider who does the individual counseling. We're super fortunate to have her. Bo Odell is the circuit court bailiff and our law enforcement representative for the treatment team. Rodney Blankenship is our CPS worker, and we appreciate you more than you will ever know. And I think we also have with us Tim Meadows, who was also in the treatment court CPS worker and now is the intake supervisor, and does that with us. And we also have Crystal Meddings, who is our new SSM, not CSM anymore, of our DHHR. We have Matt Kaiser, who is a social worker with the Board of Education. All of our probation staff, our Chief David Sales, our adult drug court officers, Sherry Cook and Kim Westfall, Jared Moreland, Raven Anteline, and Aaron Evans. We do have a pastor, Phil Wilson, and I don't think I saw Phil today. Sarah Gregory is the judicial assistant. She also is not here. Anthony Selby is a new addition. He's our new judicial law clerk back here. Of course, Gary, Gerald, Lindsay Brady, Tia, Ron, Bill, Ben, all of our staff at Day Report Center. Debbie Sislovnik also is a community member on our team. She is babysitting her granddaughter, so she did not want to bring them out and try to keep up with them today. But she's a very big help for our participants and helping get them things that they need and just providing helpful insight. We have Megan Griffin, who is our peer recovery support specialist for the Day Report Center and specifically for Family Treatment Court. And she's a gem. I don't know how anybody does it without a Megan. Jessica Williams with Seneca is also one of our treatment providers and helps us with our children's services when they need that. Bob Faulkner is a counselor employed with the Day Report Center. And then, I don't think BJ's in here, but our probation secretary, BJ Donato, is kind of the glue that holds it all together for us. So, we just thank all of you for dedicating your time and showing up every week and putting up with some of my crazy ideas and being a part of this. So, with that, I think we're ready to introduce the graduates, and Janet is going to come up and help with that. We also have another graduate who just showed up, Mary Beth. So we're glad you guys are here.
While they're getting that in order, I just want to point out, inflation affects us all, but have you seen the price of chimneys? They're through the roof.
The participants who voluntarily enter family treatment court can be at one of the lowest points in their lives due to their lifestyles, actions, and they've lost custody of their children. Many times, they've lost respect of their families, they've lost their true friends, employment, housing, driver's license, and even their self-respect. Throughout the program, they work very hard to focus on their recovery and build back what they've lost. They take classes such as the relapse prevention, anger management, criminal and addictive thinking, cognitive behavior intervention, thinking for a change, men or women's trauma, and adult life skills. And parenting is also provided to them through their ASO providers. They receive individualized counseling, individualized counseling through their family or Bob. And they do community service to build back the community. And throughout the process, they regain many of the things that they have lost. Our first graduate is going to be George Jones. 2021. He has 542 days clean. George is a participant in the Nicholas County Adult Drug Court also. George has completed short-term rehabilitation at Recovery Ridge and the program at God's Way Home. George has overcome many obstacles throughout the time that he's been in family treatment court. George is vigilant with his recovery and has a wonderful sponsor. George has gained the right to have his son Matthew back in his care. He has obtained safe and suitable housing, full-time employment, and he's completed the DUI class, paid his outstanding citations and reinstatement fees, and he currently has his learner's permit, and he was gifted a vehicle. George is also sharing custody of his son with his son's mother. Trevor was accepted to the Family Treatment Court in March 17th of 2022. He has 393 days clean since entering the program. Trevor has had a long journey with many struggles throughout his time in Family Treatment Court. He has gained the right to have his daughters, Lala and Gabriella, back into his care full-time. He's gained full-time employment, safe and suitable housing, paid his outstanding citation and reinstatement fees, obtained a valid driver's license and a vehicle, and he is a full-time single dad. Jordan was accepted to Family Treatment Court January 20th of 2022. She has 453 days clean since entering the program. Jordan's always had a good attitude and willingness to learn. She's learned how to slow down and be patient, which has aided her in her recovery as well as her role as being a mother. She's gained the right to have her son Aiden back into her care full-time. She's gained full-time employment, safe and suitable housing. She obtained a driver's license for the first time. She'd had some learner's permits in the past, but never took a driver's test. And she does have a reliable vehicle now. Renee was accepted into Family Treatment Court May 9th, 2022. She has a total of 374 days clean. 338 of those were from the date that she was accepted into the program. Prior to being accepted into the Family Treatment Court, she completed short-term rehab at Recovery Ridge Recovery Center. Renee's done great since entering the program. She's had a great attitude and an ambition to remain in recovery. She recognizes the need to continue to fight against the disease of addiction. She attends support meetings to stay on top of her recovery. She has facilitated support meetings at the DRC, and she plans on coming to the DRC and continue facilitating weekly meetings. And she's regained the right to have her daughter Riley back into her care full time. She works part-time and she's an amazing mother. Clarence, or as we know him.
Sorry, I've always got a lot to say, so it's going to take a little bit. But I especially want to thank everyone through the treatment team. I want to shout out to one person who has been there from day one whenever I wanted to surrender myself. It was like, I'm done with my own self. So I appreciate you very much. Megan, for letting me just confide in you that day. It means a whole lot that you've been there throughout my process. It also means a whole lot for my family members to be right in front of me. That day that I surrendered myself, my papa was there right beside me. I had lost him at 64 days sober, and I have learned to cope with those moments and those issues and my self-esteem problems, anger, all of those moments. That was my logs to my fire, and I work on those daily. And I just thank everyone that is here today because it is very meaningful to me in my recovery, and also in the moment of I can become someone who other people look up to whenever I thought that my life was ending and I needed to end my own life. So I appreciate those moments, and I'm very happy to be here in front of you guys today.
Clarence Miller, and we know him as CJ. CJ was accepted into Family Treatment Court on January 24, 2022. He has 441 days clean since entering the program. CJ's had several bumps in the road, which he has overcome. When he started the program, he didn't want to be there. However, as time passed, his attitude changed and he was able to gain the skills he needed to change his life and for his family. CJ's gained the right to have a lodging back in his home full-time. He's gained full-time employment, safe and suitable housing. He's paid his outstanding citations, his reinstatement fees, and he obtained a driver's license, and he's a full-time single dad.
Yes, she's right. I've had a lot of bumpy roads, but I've stuck with it and got my head on right. It took a little bit, but I just thank everyone that's here. I don't personally have any family here today, but my family treatment court is my family, so I will continue, to reach out when needed. And I just want to thank everybody for everything y'all have done.
Okay, the good news is, number one, we're almost done. Number two, we have lunch down at the DRC. It's also open house down at the DRC. If you want to see what happens down at the DRC, just come on down. Other good news is I have another joke. Where do pirates get their hooks? At the second-hand store. So in closing, I want to congratulate all the graduates, and we have about 15 people who are eligible to come into family treatment court. So tomorrow, staff will be right back on that, and we're going to keep doing the same thing we're doing to put kids back in drug-free homes. That's what we do here. So I want to thank the graduates, thank the community, thank everybody on the team, thank the administrative office at the Supreme Court, and everybody for this successful program. So with that, we are adjourned, and feel free to join us down at the DRC.